So I've been rocking this for about 15 weeks now, which is exciting. But I'm super looking forward to this episode for you guys, especially if you have rising senior, if you have any child that you want to get into college, not even a rising senior, because we have the scholarship doctor here who's going to walk us through how to find those scholarships, how to win them, even if you don't have a teen. So I was super impressed because her nephew, who's 7, already has over what $25,000 in college
You said
scholarship. College
35,000 now.
37? You said 35,000? And he just started elementary school. So that goes to show there is no it's never too early or too late to start, stacking those coins for college. So I'm excited to have Ria here to kind of walk us through. I know her through her philanthropic, amazing nephew, Justin, who does great work. So check him out. But I'll turn it over to you to just kind of share your wisdom about scholarships.
Hey y'all, thank you so much, Lacey. I appreciate this and appreciate what you and your amazing children do to change the world. And that is super important, believe it or not, to the scholarship game. But I am Ria, the scholarship doctor with Scholarship Solutions, where we are blessed to help scholars of all ages. And we say everyone's a scholar. We either face that into them or they're already living their best lives like that. But scholars ages 0 to 99, from the womb to the tomb, from birth to death, to
Okay.
have a debt free college experience. Yes. And like you said, it does not matter how young or young at heart someone is, you and yours can go to college debt free. And although we say college, it really is any type of higher education. So, have you been looking to get that certification program? Maybe go to a vocational or technical school or your traditional 2 or 4 year university, including on the graduate level. I get that question all the time. Can I be a
Wow.
grad student? Yes. Are you 0 to 99? People say, do I, is it past 99? If you want to go to school past age 99, you can do it. So we haven't found scholarships for in the womb, but as soon as they're outside the womb and outside the tomb, however young they in their heart, you can go to college debt free. Do you think that's clear? Do we think you got
I think that's super clear. That's clearer than I think it's ever been for me. That's amazing. That's amazing.
So I think some people like want to know, how does that happen, especially with my nephew, as we discussed, $35,000 in grants, scholarships, and prizes. We have to think about it. It's not always cash awards, even though just about 2 weeks ago he clocked $1,000, and on this coming Friday he'll be competing for $1,010,000
Oh
in
wow.
scholarships. So it's like, okay, how do you scholarship as a 7 year old? Because that's how old my nephew is. How do you scholarship as a 2 month old? How do you do that? Right. And so we love that, but it really is the same no matter how young or young at heart someone
Mhm.
is. The first thing, Lacey, is you have to apply. Yes, I know. It's just like, oh my gosh. Wait a minute, don't you have to write this dynamic, incredible, inspirational? Those are all good. But really, half the battle is just applying.
Oh wow.
There's $50 billion in scholarships available every single year. But guess what? Only 3 billion are going claimed. So that means annually 47 billion with a B are going back to organizations, the government, institutions, or whomever, because people simply do not apply.
Wow.
So I just applied for a $10,000 scholarship. Me, yeah, and I've been in school for at least 10 years. And about 2 months ago, I won $10,000 cold cash. They sent me a check. I put it on my Instagram and my TikTok, like, "Hey, Mimi, here you are with your
Okay.
check." Yes, ma'am. But guess what? People don't apply, and I just applied again for something. I think 4 people out of the millions, literally millions, who were eligible. Only 4 of us applied. So
Wow.
when people just apply, Lacey, it's literally, to me, minimally 75% of earning a scholarship, because there's no competition.
Wow.
We got to
You
make
said
that change.
47 billion in scholarships every year?
So just go back. 50
Wow.
billion available, only 3 billion are being claimed. I'm determined to try to tap into as much of that 47 billion
Oh
as
yes,
possible.
for
Now, I'll
sure.
tell you, Justin had just 4 scholarships that were due literally over the last month, and we missed them. I mean, we're a part of that number too. It's just like you get too busy, or it's like, oh my gosh, is this application like too difficult? I forgot all those things happen. So even with a built-in auntie as a scholarship doctor and him being really used to that being a part of everything that he does, we still miss it as well. But just like we did, there were millions of others who could have and should have applied, but didn't. So I'm really working always to change the narrative. So for me, the number one most important thing to earning a scholarship is applying. Because when you try, you've already just maximized your opportunity. So that's one.
Okay.
Secondly, it is really important to have a great, creative, consistent, and community minded
Mm.
repertoire in service. And so that's Kavanaugh, right? That's you. That's Warrior. Y'all are like, like trailing this, right? That's my nephew. So because of people like you all and Justin who see service and see community and have changed your environment, your small piece or large piece of the world, that wins scholarships.
Mm.
So we love in my book, I actually have 5 easy steps, right? So it's good grades, good scores, a good class rank. That means like where are you graduating in your class? Those things are good and we always want them. But what is great, what is excellent is how altruistic are you? How
Mm.
much are you giving back? How community minded are you? And when you have excellence in those areas, it can even kind of silence the other thing. And it's the same thing with being involved. So it's like, are you participating in a Boy Scout, a Girl Scout, a 4-H, an urban chamber, or urban league? Are you a soccer mom or dad? Are you someone that's sitting on the PTA or whatever they may call it? Are you involved in your government entities in some way as an elected official or appointed? What are you doing as an extracurricular, like outside of the classroom? And then in any and all of those positions, do you have a leadership role? So when people have a heart, the passion, the compassion, the creativity, and then they're also involved with things that they love with sports or music or civic organizations. And not only that, Lacey, but they are taking the time to say, you know what, I'm gonna run no matter how much my heart is palpitating. I'm gonna run for that. I know I have a newborn, but I'm gonna go ahead and step up and be the chairperson or the chaplain or the vice president, president, secretary, whatever fits your demeanor and yourself to say, I'm gonna do something that not everyone else is doing.
Mm.
And when you do those things and have that, that equals scholarship.
Okay. Okay.
Super simple. It might always be easy, but it really is simple.
You know what? Like they say, the biggest thing I've realized my word this year is consistency. So it's not that things are hard. We just got to be consistent with it and persistent with it as well. So I like that piece of really building in like that leadership component of what you do. So not just playing that sport, but how can you also rise to the top as a leader in that?
Absolutely. And sometimes we think, oh, they have to be the captain or co captain. No, I work with students every day who, again, may be the chaplain. They may be something called in this area, I never heard of it, but they're called the champ. They're the people who are cheering everyone else on and saying the chant every single week. They may be the person bringing the inspirational word or the poetry. So you don't have to be captain or co captain to be a leader. What are you doing outside of playing your fill in the blank or being a part of your club, however that is? So it's like, oh, well, we have a bake sale and I'm part of the bake sale. Is everybody doing the bake sale? Well, yeah, everybody's doing the bake sale. But did you say, you know what? Let me chair the bake sale committee. Here we go. That
Yes.
has just changed the game. So you don't always have to be president or vice president. We love those, but you don't have to be that person to be in leadership. It's just doing something else, a little bit
Hmm.
extra, that's going to cause you to maybe have some conflict resolution, right? That's going to cause you to have to think outside the box, to propose some things. And then we can throw that in an essay and you can talk about how you problem solved and how you helped others and how you thought outside the box and how that changed you. And when I have that in an essay, I have winners over and over and over
Oh,
again.
wow. That's
Mhm.
amazing. I love that. So then what's your third tip? Because the first two have been fire.
Okay, well, I guess I combined them. I was thinking kind of we got our we got our involvement, we got our volunteerism, we got to just really apply for real, for real, for real. But honestly, some things I think I want us to think about, especially when we are talking about those traditional students, right? Traditional students, if we can think like this, and this is really for anyone, but if you're saying, I have a high school senior, I have an undergraduate student, I'm thinking about a graduate career, think about this, guys. STEM equals scholarships. What is STEM? Science, technology, engineering, and math. We like to say think smart. Science, math, and research technology. Science, math, agriculture,
Mm,
research, and technology. When you're thinking smart, STEM, STEAM, stream, smart, you have 3 times the likelihood of having a scholarship than those of us who are like me, a strict
mm,
liberal arts person. Girl, I was all psychology, okay? So psychology is fine. But when you can think STEM, STEAM, smart, stream, your chances for winning a scholarship are 3 times as likely as mine, because my field is very saturated. But I mean, when's the last biomedical something fill in the blank neuro whoever that you met? They just are
right.
not very they don't come very often. And then when you add being maybe a woman or a person of color, it's like those are even persons are even more in the minority. So they're already just kind of skeletal fields. But then you start adding all these other wonderful attributes, and it's like, gosh, you are the first, the only, and the we want to help you. So let me just like throw that.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I guess that's number three then, 3.5.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. So then let me ask you, is it seasonal when it comes to scholarships? Like, are there some parts of the times of the year
Ooh,
where there are more scholarships, or are there deadlines where, like, I know when it comes to like SAT or like college apps, there's certain deadlines you got to meet. Is it the
yeah,
same thing for college scholarships, or is it all year round?
that is such a good question. So remember, there's $50 billion in scholarships, right? However, from January 1 until their seats are in the seat, we say, so that's about in August, there's just millions. And like literally every day, I've been working with students all this week. I just started with a new client, and probably from the last 3 weeks, he probably has marked about 3 weeks today. He has been able to apply for, now he hasn't won, he just applied for these, but he's applied for at least $60,000 in scholarships in 3 weeks. And I just
Um,
started with it. So it's just at this time, it is hot, hot, hot. In fact, this is National Financial Aid Awareness Month.
mm,
So, everyone, if you have not applied for financial aid, please do so. Don't qualify yourself. Don't, maybe this is another tip. Maybe this is what I should have said, Lacey. Please don't qualify yourself or pre qualify yourself or judge or prejudge. They have people for that already. When you send in your information, I promise you, someone's going to judge you. Someone's going to qualify you. You don't need to do it for yourself. Again, just apply, 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 right? And let someone else do what they've been paid to or have volunteered their time to do. Or you just need to do that. So with financial aid, it's the same thing. Don't say, "Oh my gosh, we make too much money. We don't make enough. We live in Vermont. We live in Nevada with Rhea." Stop all of that. Just do it. And it's super important with financial aid, especially because that completes your scholarship application. So
mm.
just like you have your great activities and wonderful grades and scores, as you mentioned, even the ACT and SAT, it's not going away. So please don't believe that. Anyway, that's a side thought, maybe another conversation. But however, you also need a FAFSA, which is the free application for student aid or federal aid, right? So you also need that. So if you are a permanent resident or citizen, you have a high school senior, all the way up to the last degree that you want to earn, I don't care what that is, you should be applying for FAFSA. And so now, just to circle back to your question, right now is scholarship season. It is just literally every day, millions in applications, millions of dollars are coming due every single day until August. And then it slows down a little bit in September, which is college savings month. So we want to focus on that. It silence a little bit in October. Then November is actually National Scholarship Month.
Mm.
December, we take a little break because of the holiday, and they know January 1 is start time. But literally, seriously, there's scholarship due every day. It's just during this season, it's really, really scholarship season, and we love it. Great
Gotcha.
question.
So what would you say to someone like, so I started a 529 plan for Kavanaugh. So his college is actually, as of December this year, will be paid for. if
Yes.
if he chooses to go to college. So I took kind of the harder route, but now I'm starting over with Warrior. Like, so what would you say to anyone watching this live that has kids that are maybe in that middle school or elementary school age? Like, are there just as many kind of ripe scholarship opportunities for them as well as it is for those that are seniors or already in college?
Absolutely wonderful question. So, believe it or not, the largest funded scholarship year is actually junior year in college. People are like, wait, what? When? I know, I see your face, girl. But yes, it's true. Because firstly, unfortunately, the number one reason that students drop out of college, and we are talking about now traditional kind of 4 year bachelor's program, okay? Why students drop out is money. It's not that the program is too hard or they're homesick or they can't figure out their major. No, the number one reason is because, and I get the calls almost every day, I've run out of financial aid. I can't even take out any more loans. Like, we're not even talking the free money. Like, I have nothing left. They've used it all. And so when that happens in junior year and parents have been trying to keep up with this, $800 a month payment to a college or making sure that their kids have Uber Eats or whatever it is that they want to make sure that they're whole, they can't do that by year three. It's just too much. They're taking care of two households and it can't happen anymore. Right. And so we feel terrible about that. So the way scholarship says is, hey, if you've made it to junior year of college, we want to get you over that hump. You're almost there. So if we can have this barrier of financial aid not be a barrier, and we can do that through scholarship, we're going to feed you that money. They do the same thing for seniors. They're like, hey, if you've gotten this far, we want to get you the rest of the way. Okay. So that's one thing. Probably second most popular is senior year. Lots and lots of money available. And then after that, and it might even be a tie, is like grad school. When I won the most of my money. I won $300,000 in scholarships and
What?
fellowships.
Wait a
But
minute.
it was
Wait. You just throw these numbers out. You said you won 300,000 in scholarships?
I did, and I'm a baby in it. I mean, my largest scholarship winner, she's on a full ride medical degree at Howard, living her best life in DC in a high rise. The girl won $2.5 million in scholarships, so she makes my little 300,000 look like nada.
Wow.
Nada, nada. So yeah, so my students, my clients, they have far surpassed my
Wow.
little 300 grand that I
I
won.
would I would take it.
I'm thankful now. It's wonderful to have multiple degrees that I didn't have to pay for. It's a blessing, and I actually got paid to go to school, so we love that. Again, another conversation, so we can talk about how you get paid to go to school. But those are more of the times where the largest amounts of scholarships are. So now to get to your question, though, yes, there are monies for, we know again, zero all the way through. But for the children, there are a few less scholarships, but it doesn't mean that you can't, it should not apply regularly and that there's not funding available. And I'll give you some that your listening audience can like take advantage of that are coming up if you're
Yeah, look, we won't turn it away.
interested. So actually, again, in my book, it's really cool because my sister and I love my sissy. I see her on here. Hey, Kel. We went through because in the book you have a section that's called My First Scholarships. So I thought of it kind of like, we do my first dictionary and my first. I was like, let's do my first scholarships to give people an introduction to scholarships and let them see what's really possible. So we just went through the my first scholarships, and girl, there were 9 scholarships for 0-year-olds that we have put in the book. 9 of them. So as long as you
For
were on Earth,
infants?
you can apply. Yes. And then for kindergarten, there were 13. And then for third graders and up, it was like 19 or 16, and then everybody else. So can you imagine? Like, can you imagine, Lacey, if you and I were applying for scholarships at Kavanaugh, Justin's, and Warriors ages? Can you imagine who we would be? Like,
Wow.
game changer, right? I have on my God list. I have a 300 list that I read every day. Try to get to it every day. And my number 300, I knew exactly what it was going to be, is that Justin would have $5 million in scholarships and graduate high school at age 14. So I had to get to the 300. I knew that was number 300, but I'm like, what is the rest? But my nephew, really, the way he is going, he will have that kind of money. He will never have to know a mortgage, a car payment, definitely not any student loans. And like you said, what if he decides to go I don't know, not to school or do something else or continue his business because he already started two of them. So, continue these businesses. Do we care? We don't care. The same thing you have. You have 529. If
Yeah.
Kavanaugh goes, great. If he doesn't, he can use it for other things, right? But I think that's what's so wonderful. These are not in any way encapsulating our children. It's assuring that if they do this, they will never have to take the pathway of ourselves, of our parents, maybe of our loved ones. They'll never have to know debt, and that's what I'm all about. How can we be preventative instead
Right.
of an intervention all day, every day?
No, look, I appreciate your wisdom. I appreciate this conversation. How can people work with you if they wanted to work with you one on one? I know you mentioned having clients.
Yes. So I'm everywhere, y'all, at Scholarship DR. That's Scholarship Doctor. So please follow me, including on TikTok. TikTok. So you can follow me on all social media platforms. I have a great website, myscholarshipsolutions.com. So that's my singular, scholarship singular, solutions plural. There's a free 15-minute consultation on there. All of our services and products are right there. But I love to talk to people. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, I would love to answer those. And I'm pretty good at what I do. We've helped people earn over $200 million in scholarships.
Oh,
So you might as well join the bandwagon.
that's amazing. That's so amazing. I appreciate all the work that you do because, like I said, I am a product of student loan debt, but my kids will not be. I have claimed them.
Yes.
And so I
Amen.
appreciate you being a beacon of light in the world to share that wisdom because it's much needed. I mean, especially for those of us that might be first generation college scholars in our family, it's always nice to be able to spread that knowledge forward. So I so appreciate you. If you're watching this live, I'll drop Ria's website and the link to her book. You can go to Amazon and get that as well. But otherwise, I so appreciate you. And we will be back to Las Vegas soon. Very
Oh, yes. Pizza. Pizza and kids and fun.
as long as we're not rebuilding the house again.
Okay, maybe no. Oh, yes. My
We'll do
sister
we'll
says the
do
same
New
thing.
York. The last time when Kavanaugh was on his cross country road trip, we stopped in Las Vegas with Rhea, Raquel, and Justin, and we were renovating a house for a family, which was it was amazing work, but it was hard work.
It was hard work and it was
Hard
hot.
work. And I was like, I told him, I said, I don't understand why they don't have wind. They don't have any wind. Yes,
Charlie
yes,
wouldn't want
yes,
it though.
yes.
I wouldn't want the win.
But I appreciate that. I'm gonna grab your book because I'm gonna look for those scholarships for infants because we're gonna be
Yes, they're in there, girl.
but otherwise, I appreciate your time. And if you guys are watching this live, definitely share it out, hit Ria up, share her information so we can get more people to kind of have this information on hand so they can start blessing themselves or their kids or their loved ones with this information. So I appreciate you
Absolutely.
again, and we will talk soon.
Bless you guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Lacey. Mwah.